Hello, welcome to another tutorial. I'm Samuel Roberto Brempo, and in this lesson we are going to make a layout work across different screen sizes. Responsive design is one of the best or biggest things that separate a rough website from a usable one. The good news is that in Prime L, you do not need to rebuild the whole page for every screen. You build the main version first and adjust the needs to a smaller screen or breakpoints. That is the right mindset. Build once, adapt carefully. Let's start with this layout on the screen. Right now it works well on a larger screen. We have space, the columns feel balanced, and the text has room. Now I'll switch to a tablet view or a laptop view. So the idea is to make this video as short as possible. You would know what to do. But if you have layout assist on, a lot of this will be solved for you. So let's go to the laptop view. In the laptop view, we can see that we can still see that it looks good. There's nothing that we need to do except if we had wanted to reduce the padding on the section so that it can breathe more, we could. But in this case, I'm just going to leave it this way. Now let's go to the tablet view. What's happening here is a glitch that has this block in a grid mode in this view, so we need to fix that. Now in the tablet view, it looks too small and a little bit too cramped. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this and I'm going to increase the width to 6, and I'm going to increase the width of this to 6 as well, so that in the tablet view what happens is that the elements will be at half the size of the page, so it looks good this way. Now I can move on to my mobile view and see it's okay, it looks good, the spacing is okay. I'll check this and make sure it's in block state, and then we can have our text perfectly aligned. If I want, I could reduce the padding. So I will go to this mode and reduce the padding to the left and right, so that I could have a bigger image and see what I want. If that's what I want, then I have it over here. Now what I could also do is change the spacing here, but I'm not going to do that. I'm just going to leave it, or probably I could just increase the height here. I could reduce the padding rather. So let's go in there and reduce the padding, which seems to be upset. So let's go to size rather. We have a minimum height and a minimum height. So we talked about maximum width and then width, but minimum height is also something that we have to look at. So we can set the minimum height to 50, right? And then that way we can increase our height. We can increase our height, as you can see, by going back into this view and then dragging to increase our height. So we can control the space between the elements. Now when we come back to our view here, you can see whatever we did in the smaller view doesn't affect what we did here, because it's in that particular view. Now let's go back and see what we did. So as you can see, it looks this way on a mobile. On a tablet, this is how it's going to look. On a laptop, this is how it's going to look. On a desktop, this is how it's going to look. Now, on a wide screen, sometimes people have very huge screens. This is how it's going to look. And I don't think it's bad at all. It's okay. We can keep it this way. Now we have a responsive design from wide to mobile screens. And we didn't really have to do much. It just took us less than a few seconds to set it. And if you have layout assist, and as we push in building the software and pushing it further, you wouldn't have to do anything at all. In most cases, now you don't have to. If you have to change anything, a few things that you have to fix. But with layout assist on, most of your designs are going to be responsive and then make your things easier. Now, that is what a responsive design is supposed to feel like. Not 3 separate designs, but one design adapting cleanly. In the next lesson, we are going to move into typography systems so that the text itself stays consistent across the whole site.